Many players already lamented Elden Ring's instant kill Deathblight status effect, but some minute details may reveal implications that are more terrifying than getting sent back to the latest site of grace. Elden Ring and its many predecessors from FromSoftware such as Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice have always enjoyed mixing intense difficulty with a fittingly bleak and dark world, with many gruesome truths lying just underneath the surface of their item description-dependent lore. Elden Ring's large open world offers even more instances of these dark realities coming to light as the player trots across the lands. Warning: the following article contains spoilers for Elden Ring. Elden Ring is the latest RPG action-adventure Souls-like game released in 2022 by the pioneers of the subgenre at FromSoftware. Unique from its predecessors, as Elden Ring offers an expansive open-world experience combined with the gameplay and mechanics legions of hardened fans flock to. In this subgenre that Elden Ring shares, it's quite common to have excessively powerful and disruptive status effects, most earning the largest share of fans' ire, such as Dark Souls' toxin-riddled Blightdown. At first, Elden Ring's Deathblight status might appear to just be a more thematically appropriate curse effect from the Dark Souls series, but digging deeper hints at more unsettling truths. Elden Ring's Deathblight is not only a vile affliction that instantly kills the player, but closer inspection reveals that the thorns which impale the player upon full infection are actually home to swarms of dubious flighted insects and writhing worms that were possibly nesting within the player's body. Zully the Witch's YouTube video inspects one of the worst ways to die next to Scarlet Rot in Elden Ring, along with some in-game lore and possible inspiration. Anything tainted with this vile substance is constantly surrounded by small, gnat-like bugs or infested with worms, and upon expiration the victim bursts and explodes with hundreds of these death bugs. Insects fester underneath tarnished skin in Elden Ring. Deathblight interacts with NPCs in an even more telling way. Sorcerer Rogier suffers a slow death from the infection, the thorns and bugs sprouting out of his body gradually instead of the sudden death the player may suffer, which seems like a mercy in comparison. It can be seen throughout Rogier's lore lot in Elden Ring questline that at a point he still lives but has the blighted bugs buzzing around him. He attempts to cover his lower afflicted half with a blanket but is unsuccessful in stopping the flies from coming out or hiding the thorns that protrude from his legs. Upon closer inspection, the various Deathblight thorns the player may see across the game seem to have leaves at first, but these are actually the wings of the insects burrowing and nesting within. Nowhere is this clearer than Godwyn's own corpse buried deep beneath the lands between, rife with the winged thorns and swarms of blight insects, giving the player the closest look at the most calamitous instance of the blight. Elden Ring's world is just as dark as its predecessors, perhaps even more so considering quests and endings like the loathsome Dung Eaters. Deathblight kills gods and may even suck at the very grace within the lands between, draining those afflicted of the only thing preventing them from rotting and turning into a hollow husk, a nest and burrow for maggots, worms, and gnats. FromSoftware continues its tradition of dark and terrifying worlds with Elden Ring, with only the player as the hope for change if they aren't reduced to a hive for parasites first. Source: Zully the Witch YouTube.